This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The majority rule bill getting the stamp of approval from parliamentarians in the lower house last evening. Among those contributing to the debate was Angliston MP Glenys Hannah Martin. She said Bahamians should be proud of the country's rich history in fighting for majority rule. Despite major challenges and obstacles, Hannah Martin said that heroes of that time forged ahead.
January 10th is important because the voice of the Bahamian people was expressed in an electoral result, even while subject to the rules of the UBP. That tells you about the will of the people. It is a day of great triumph. It reminds me of the words of the great Nelson Mandela when he says, "No chains can hold back a people determined to be free." And Mr. Speaker, it reminds me the words of an old veteran politician that I speak to often, who says that whoever tries to gerrymander the boundaries will lose. This has become the tradition of the Bahamian people. We need only look to the last boundaries exercise. Look at Angliston, Big Pond, Yellow Elder. When you see what happened, they're over there, we're over here. A common slogan that Bahamian people have is you could change the lines, but you can't change the minds.
Meantime, member for Long Island, Loretta Butler Turner, made suggestions on several things, not only to commemorate majority rule, but programs that will educate Bahamians as well.
I propose then the creation of a program named Living Democracy. By this title, I mean that democracy is in fact a living enterprise. And I mean also that as citizens, we need to live the habits and the values of democracy. Bahamians love politics, and we have an enviable voter turnout for general elections. But we need to know our democracy even better. As a start, the Living Democracy Project would be a civics education program using various media platforms, including television, the internet, and all of the social media that we have today, to educate and inform our Bahamians on the fundamental elements of democracy.
Residents of Williams Lane are protesting the construction of a wall in their backyard. The wall in question reportedly blocks their shortcut to a busy commercial area. Janelle Ferguson has more on their plight in this report.
Pastor James Lowe stood for most of the morning behind the old City Market building and Williams Lane area, collecting signatures from those passing by. He has a church in the community and is protesting the construction of a wall that would cut off the passageway. Lowe says this has been used by residents for more than 40 years.
We just want to ask the owners if they can just leave us just a gateway for all of those students that come from the west and all those who come from the east.
Now, moments after we left the protests, we learned that the construction workers here were held at gunpoint and robbed of their possessions. We heard from police officers that this area has been a problem for some time now.
The protest was not about crime, or the protest was not in favor of the criminals. I was sad to see that these gentlemen has been robbed, and I hope that they will be caught.
Pastor Lowe argued that whether the wall was there or not, crime would still happen. And even after the incident occurred, he is still hoping the owners of this private property would consider giving residents an access point.
Crime will prevail in different areas if we continue to have crime. The police should be more prevalent in this particular area because of crime.
Now, we attempted to contact the owner of the property, but were told that he did not wish to comment. Meanwhile, these Williams Lane residents shared their views on the issue.
We don't want to see this as another Collins Wall situation where a whole community is left off. Yes, the roads are there, but I personally think that it will be more harm's way for our children walking those busy streets through the same areas where the culprits live.
Yes, really. Safe, because definitely have a lot of guys, young guys, through the corner right there by the school, and they watch you and they smash it in, because this have a lot of bushes right behind this building. They always run behind there.
Put up cameras, put up a security. That's a job for somebody to secure the gate to our access to the business houses.
Now, contractors say they plan to have this wall completed by the weekend, but Pastor Lowe says he hopes to urge the owners to allow the residents to have some access. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Authorities are searching for 4 men who apparently violated bail conditions. The first is 26-year-old Godfrey Gator of Buttonwood Street, Pinewood Gardens. He's on bail for housebreaking, stealing, and receiving. He is described as having a brown complexion, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall. He has dark brown eyes and weighs 152 pounds. Additionally, he has tattoos on his left arm and 2 teardrops beneath his left eye. Authorities are also searching for 30-year-old Valentino Dorset of Sampson Street, Nassau Village. He is on bail for murder and attempted armed robbery. Dorset is described as having dark brown complexion, standing just over 6 feet. He has dark brown eyes, tattoos on both hands, and weighs 170 pounds.
Also wanted tonight is 41-year-old Modesta Dave Colebrook. The Lemon Street, Yellow Elder Gardens resident apparently violated bail in connection with an unlawful sexual intercourse matter. And the search continues for 25-year-old Samiko Rigby of Palm Tree Avenue, formerly of Jonestown, 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama. Rigby is on bail in reference to armed robbery and burglary. He's described as having dark brown complexion, is of medium build, and has tattoos on both arms. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of any of these men we just told you about should call the police at 919 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. That's 328-8477. Well, 4 years ago, the creators of the hit show BTC Star Maker didn't think they would get through the first season. And now, 4 seasons in, the show has exceeded expectations. Tonight, fans of the show will get to watch a Star Maker marathon here on ZNS leading up to the season premiere tomorrow. But just before fans become immersed in the show, I got a chance to sit down with BTC Vice President Marlon Johnson today to chat a little bit about how much the show has grown and the future of it.
Our folks love the show. I know one of the most interesting things for me is all during the year, I constantly get the question, as soon as one season over, when the next one coming up. So folks love the show. We did a bit of survey, and next to the ZNS Evening News, it is the most watched Bahamian TV program on television. So for us, that was really, really interesting. So folks who have never checked out Star Maker, check it out. It's a Bahamian program. It shows Bahamian young people doing some fascinating things.
And another reason you might want to catch the show this season is because BTC is incentivizing the show with giveaways in each episode.
But one of the things that viewers love is that every single episode we do giveaways. And we're proud to say that our lead sponsor, Samsung, has agreed to give away a brand new Galaxy S4. Brand new phone, hot off the presses for every episode. We're also going to, in a couple of those episodes, we're going to also be adding to that a Samsung Galaxy Note 2 in every episode. And we give away phone cards and other prizes. So our lead sponsor stepped up to the plate in a big way. And so we encourage people to watch, because at the end of every show, we do a trivia question. And you'll get a chance to text in your answer. And you have a chance to win not only the Samsung Galaxy 3, but even if you don't, Samsung Galaxy 4. But even if you don't win that, you'll also have an opportunity to win phone cards and other prizes.
All right, up next, bankers go head-to-head in flag football.
And the police making a generous donation. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis. The government is now looking at a number of potential investment deals that could greatly impact the Bahamas. This according to Minister of State for Investments, Kaylis Roll. The announcement was made after Roll's recent trip to the Caribbean Hotel and Resorts Investment Summit in Miami, Florida. Roll believes conferences like this will open doors for developers and investors who are seeking to do big business here in the Bahamas. A local food chain is creating more than a dozen jobs after expanding its network with the opening of its 4th restaurant in the Palmdale area. Sub Heaven, the brand responsible for the Subway franchise, employs some 45 persons, and organizers say the store's reopening comes in the wake of high demands by frequent Subway customers. Organizers claim since the opening, business has been booming and say plans to open other locations is in the pipeline. In international business news, and Houston has named one of America's top 10 cities for Small Business Group in 2013. An analysis of 15,000 U.S. small businesses defined as companies having fewer than 250 employees or less than $10 million in annual revenues show that Houston led the pack, followed by Tampa, Denver, Seattle, and Dallas. Most noteworthy, the average age of businesses in the Texas city was 34 months, which is slightly less than 3 years. And that's a look at your Royal Fidelity business news. I'm LaDawn Davis.